possession is one way of understanding the Karen meme. Now, what is anima possession? It is when a woman rejects the full element of the masculine or of the yang energy. In return, what does become of her own possession is the concentrated fragment of the anima, which is not fully integrated, which possesses the woman's personality. In any instance of possession, it is always achieved by an energy which is an extreme concentrated fragment of the whole, such of the case with demons, for example. But in relation to something like Karen, she is a resemblance of infantile, illogical and irrational behaviour which does not express the rational, noble, well-balanced yang energies of the paternal logos. She is instead uncontrolled, hyper-aggressive, confrontational, and fundamentally confused. She desires some form of direction, but everything else destroys any sense of maturity that is necessary. This is the same with animus possession, which occurs through men when they are possessed by a very poor form of the feminine. Jung understood the logos and eros through the yin and yang dichotomy. He interpreted contrasexual archetypes or complexes as animus and anima as residing within the unconscious mind. The same way how yang resides within yin and yin resides within yang. Thus, the animus is fundamentally the masculine psychological qualities within a woman. The personal unconscious, for example, can also influence the animus within a woman, such as the past relations with father and brother, for example. But also, as I understand, the social collective view of masculinity and femininity itself, in relation to the relative culture and its specific attributes. The phenomena of the Karen meme is not simply just an example of angry women. A meme is a collective mimetic epiphenomena within the minds of many. A modern viral symbol, in this case of how masculinity and femininity is understood and psychologically digested within our culture. A real example of how numerous propaganda within a culture can influence personal atomization or even the development of a neurotic complex through a misunderstanding of what masculinity and femininity is, and how that permeates out through behaviour. Women not wanting to hold aspects of the feminine, femininity not being seen as worthwhile in today's Western society, or men being criticised for being masculine. And of such a divided interpretation undoubtedly leads to having poor identifications, internalizations, and even possessions of the fragmented opposite, yin, yang, maternal eros, and paternal logos. With Karen, it is a symbolic meme which shows the possession of the poorly integrated paternal logos which associate with reason and judgment. Jung writes, "Turned towards the world, the anima is fickle, capricious, moody, uncontrolled, and emotional, sometimes gifted with demonic intuitions, ruthless, malicious, untruthful, bitchy, double-faced, and mystical." End quote. The symbolism of the Sphinx in Greek mythology, in relation to anima possession, presents what could be physically identified as animus possession through the body of a lion and the head of a woman. The lion is male and ruler of its expansive kingdom, the avatar of a walking sun with its shaggy mane. The lion, grounded in its place, shows guardianship and power. Its force is determinate and known. But the Sphinx is not a lion. It is not the full integration of the lion. Thus, it does not present itself as such in full form. The Sphinx presents a riddle within its mythology, a proposition. She is a trickster wanting travellers to fail. But if correct, one is allowed to pass through her powerful gaze to the city of Delphi. To uncode a riddle, one needs to manifest the paternal logos of reason and judgment itself. Thus, the Sphinx asks, What animal is that which in the morning goes on 4 feet, at noon on 2, and in the evening upon 3? Oedipus says, man, who in childhood creeps on hands and knees, in manhood walks erect, and in old age with the aid of a staff. Man himself is the answer to the riddle. Uncoding a riddle requires the power of paternal logos, of rationale and judgment, of yang, which is masculine. When Oedipus Rex answers the riddle, the Sphinx is mortified and takes its own life down from the rock and perishes. Why does it do this when it has wings to fly? Well, because the Sphinx is allergic of the true anima, of the true integrated presentation of the paternal logos. Animus possession is a possession of an incomplete, neurotic form of toxic, infantile masculinity. When the riddle is realized, it is also realized for the Sphinx. The truth of its existence is made clear and leads to death. The presentation of true, complete animus, which it does not, kills the Sphinx. This is why it has the male body of the lion. The Sphinx itself is a partial presentation of the animus, the body of a lion without its head, when its head is symbol of the complete sun. But this partial, incomplete form of the masculine is the possession which it is under, yet with the Charon's head. Charon is the Sphinx of the incomplete animus and its possession. She infests the high road and city and confronts the travellers of the day, just like the Sphinx. She presents a riddle with frustration, a proposition which requires an answer that many do not understand or know. Life can only move on once she is pleased with the answer that she demands, even when she doesn't know the answer herself. A confused mess of infantile, toxic masculinity, confronting others to see if they can answer her own problems, which she is blind of herself. No different from the Gorgon Medusa, she turns her victims into stone. People in her vicinity become mentally frozen and can't react, but only be surprised by such an infantile expression of masculine absurdity. In any other place, she becomes a valuable, comedic commodity within the comforts of our own home, where we know she does not exist. Yet at the same time, she is the challenger within society, like Minerva towards Arachne. We turn her into a spider for her defiance in strength towards the greater power, where she and her other grey maids weave the collective meme of animus possession, which is to be set out into the digital world for all to see. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, comment and subscribe. Make sure to check out my Patreon if you are interested in donating towards the channel. I've also set up a YouTube membership for people that want to contribute but don't want to use Patreon. So if you go to my YouTube channel homepage, there is a button which says join and you can pick whatever tier you wish. With that said, thanks for watching and I wish you a lovely day.